Trafficking in persons, TIP, more commonly known as human trafficking, is a worldwide concern, and Jamaica is taking all the necessary steps to combat this problem. In 2005, the government set up a national task force against trafficking in persons. This task force was charged with dealing with cases of persons being trafficked into and out of Jamaica, as well as cases of persons being moved throughout the island. As part of doing its job, the unit is to develop and execute policy that will guide and monitor actions to counteract this crime.
The task force is mandated by Cabinet to ensure that Jamaica secures its people from the crime of trafficking in persons. And we do that largely through three committees: the Protection, the Prevention, and the Prosecution Committee.
The Protection Committee ensures that all strategies are in place to secure the well-being of victims. The Prevention Committee deals with public awareness and education, while the Prosecution Committee encompasses the work of the police and getting the cases before the court.
So we are again using the whole of government approach to make sure that we combat this very terrible crime.
Part of the strategy to combat human trafficking involves enacting legislation on the issue. On February 4, 2013, Cabinet approved a proposal to amend the Trafficking in Persons Prevention, Suppression and Punishment Act. This was to include additional penalties for breaches of the law, which was enacted in 2007. The legislation had no specific provisions to deal with other offenses related to trafficking, such as assault, carnal abuse, rape, child pornography, forced begging, and forced labor.
When they occurred, the practice had been to prosecute them as separate offenses under existing laws. With the amendments, the court will impose on a person convicted of a trafficking offense, an additional 10 years if there are these aggravating factors.
The amendments to the bill, to the legislation, involves introducing crimes that are deemed to be akin to trafficking.
Drafting instructions are to be issued to the Chief Parliamentary Council.
The other feature that's critical in the law too is the matter of the judge being able to immediately impose civil penalties and therefore provide amelioration for the victims.
The overall focus is protecting the victim through the strengthening of legislation.
We've done some training for all our hotline operators to be caring, empathetic, not dismissive when you're dealing with these calls, because sometimes it's the one single opportunity and that person is lost.
Immigration personnel have also been equipped with the skills to detect the act of trafficking through the ports. They will be given pocket-sized fact cards to easily cross-check suspicious activities.
This is the kind of, a holistic approach, a whole of government approach, and to make sure that our citizens become aware.
This sensitization campaign spills over to the public at large.
It has been proven by the research done on the crime around the world that public education is critical. When people have information that they trust, they are aware, then they will make right choices.
And so, to increase public awareness, billboards will be mounted across the island with the 1-800-PROTECT-EMERGENCY number on it. That's 1-800-776-8328. The task force will also continue to take the message into schools, universities, churches, and community groups across the country.
Our sessions are not restricted. Anybody, it's an open public forum, and we do our best to take the message across and to answer people's questions.
In December 2012, the National Task Force Against Trafficking in Persons took its message to young people at the Halfway Tree bus park in Kingston. Exotic dancers and sex workers, who are described as at-risk groups, were also made aware of the lurking danger.
Recently, we have embarked on sensitizing the the go-go clubs. When we do operations in them, we ensure that at the end of the day, when we debrief, we also debrief the legitimate people to tell them to be mindful.
Social media networks will also be utilized to get the message across, as well as SMS messages on cell phones and advisories on cable and community channels. Through policy changes, plans, and tactics, the Ministry of National Security is working hard to reduce crime in Jamaica to first world levels by the year 2020, making Jamaica a secure and safe place for citizens, businesses, and visitors.
I'm on the rise, I'm on the rise.